So these days, Lamar Jackson's best friend is Twitter. This man has just been on Twitter constantly, using it to talk about his contract, negotiate his contract, refute reports, go after fans, all this kind of shit. And the man is becoming, dare I say, a little bit unhinged, just a little bit. It was last week where the ball really got rolling on all the Lamar Jackson news lately, where he comes out and says on Twitter, putting out almost like a goodbye letter to fans, basically saying, "Hey, y'all, I love y'all." I could just see the tears coming out of his eyes as he was writing this right now. "I love y'all. I'll always love y'all, all y'all fans in Baltimore, Raven fans. But as of March 2nd, I put in a request to the Ravens, a trade request, basically, because the Ravens will not meet my value and all that kind of shit." Comes out saying that, yeah, I want my trade request putting out in public, all that kind of shit. To where he's kind of strategically put it, he dropped it right before John Harbaugh was about to do his press interview at the team owner meetings that are taking place in somewhere. I forgot where they're taking place. He drops that out, but the Ravens, Harbaugh gives a PC answer and all that. But now lately, the whole thing has been like, well, what teams will really go after to get Lamar Jackson and all that kind of shit. So they keep on asking these teams after teams, and all of them have basically said, yeah, Lamar, we kind of got our own plans right now. The price is a little too high for us. And the latest one, latest notable quote comes from Arthur Blank, the owner of the Falcons. Because everyone was thinking, oh, the Falcons, that might be a decent spot for Lamar. I could see it fitting. But he came out and basically cited Lamar's injury history, the price tag in terms of, the guaranteed money. That's a big sticking point, obviously. The picks that they would have to give up because of the exclusive tag that the Ravens put on him, basically saying, yeah, we don't want it. Where once again, Lamar Jackson comes out on Twitter saying, hey, y'all, or hey, or basically talking to Arthur Smith, like, hey, I was just trying to be, 100% healthy to go into the playoffs, and I ain't gonna leave my boys hanging like that. Basically saying that he sat out because he was legit injured, want to be 100%, and it had nothing to do with him sitting out because of a contract. Where I think everyone knows that's total BS. There were so many reports that came out during around that time about people inside the Ravens locker room, the way the coach was speaking, and everyone basically saying, yeah, Lamar, he's kind of holding out, and it just kind of is what it is. That's why there was all that frustration when it came to all that kind of stuff going on with the Ravens during that time, basically saying, yo, Lamar, we know that this ain't that kind of injury. What you doing? And but besides that, this man is just Twitter is just the only sort of tactic he's got right now in terms of refuting these reports, trying to negotiate a contract, and he even goes on to in this during the actual NFL season where he was going after random NFL fans on Twitter, where one of them was criticizing sort of his play and then the whole trying to get the contract, basically saying, yo, man, you motherfucker, you ain't never stepped on the football field. You don't know shit about this. Go and eat shit and that kind of stuff. I'm paraphrasing, but that's the basic gist of what he said. And it's all this back and forth on Twitter. And it's just like the main thing that really kind of gets me about this and how he's handled all this shit is so just unprofessional. Negotiating on Twitter, the stance he's taken on the contract, and obviously the thing of not having an agent and you expecting things to go smoothly, it's just so I don't know who's giving this fool advice, man. Because all of this just comes across as bad to me. Once again, him having his mommy as an agent, I'm sure she's tucking him in at night and saying, "Hey, don't worry, Lamar, it's gonna be all right. I'm gonna get you that deal." And a year later, crickets, no deal because teams. It's easy to go after a guy when he ain't got an agent and clearly doesn't know what he's doing. When he came out with that tweet going after Arthur Smith, saying that, hey, they have not met my value. Well, the Ravens have not met my value. Well, your value is what teams are willing to pay for you. And they put that non-exclusive tag on you, saying that, hey, go out, see if you can get a deal. And if we feel that, it's right for us, we, the Ravens, can match it, we'll go after it. And teams, crickets. So clearly your value isn't what you thought it would be because everyone knows that you're holding out for that Deshaun Watson contract, where everyone in the league is basically telling you, hey, it's an outlier contract, weird situation, really shouldn't have been given out in the first place. But this man is laser focused on that contract. And I don't think he has anyone in this close circle telling him, yo, man, you don't need 230 million to be respected. People know you're a really good player. Clearly, the Ravens want you. They drafted you. They believe in you. The coach always talks glowingly about you. But because you are so laser focused on that contract, um, it's basically just kind of blinding you and all the shit you're doing. He has no one in his close circle giving him good advice, and has no one in the media that's giving him good advice either. Whenever you see these people on ESPN and Fox Sports One and all this other shit, everyone's basically saying, "Yeah, all these former players, yeah, I would give the Lamar, 230 plus guaranteed." And it's a lot of former players and shit. It's like, yeah, of course, former players are going to say, give the man a 230 plus million guaranteed, fully guaranteed contract, wanting to set that precedent for players because they were never able to get that at the time. And what I always find laughable about this is that it is just so obvious. And I've talked about this in other videos, how the media wants to make this another bullshit racism type issue, saying like, oh, it's just because Lamar, he's a black quarterback and not getting this. And some of these athletes on Twitter have even come out and just basically said it, like Des Bryant is a dumbass, saying whenever these black athletes come out and it's time to get paid, teams always try to withhold out, which is why Patrick Mahomes got his money, Deshaun Watson got his money, Russell Wilson got his money, Kyler Murray got his money. And 3 out of those 4 contracts, the last 3 that I just mentioned, those teams are probably regretting those deals. And with Lamar Jackson, his play style and all that kind of stuff, and the fact that, let's not forget this, he's missed 10 out of the last 22 games, and you want a team to give you fully guaranteed money? What kind of business decision is that? What kind of logic is that? It makes no sense. Negotiations are a two-way street, and you got to come in and you got to see both yours half and the other half. And I think there's a way that that both sides can meet kind of in the middle, maybe get to, from what was I think it's been reported 175 guaranteed, which is a lot of money, to 230. But I just think the issue is Lamar Jackson, how he is so laser focused on that contract, how unprofessional he's being. And as I mentioned, all the bad advice I think he's getting in his inner circle from his mommy, his sort of close friends, and these idiots in the media who are just trying to make this, just telling him to keep going on. And I mentioned how they obviously want to make this a racism issue. That they're wishing they wish in an alternate world that 230 guaranteed contract that Deshaun Watson got. They wish Deshaun Watson was white. Because if Deshaun Watson was white, oh, this would be the next Colin Kaepernick case. All of these racist morons in the media, like Dominic Foxworth. What is it? Some other ones. Who has also been doing it? Robert Griffin III. He's always sort of alluding that kind of stuff. Ryan Clark. That's another one. People always want to call racism when no racism exists, when it's all just kind of negotiations. There's just so many black people in the media trying to make this a racism issue. Kimberly Aaron Martin, that's another one. And in fact, it's gotten so bad for Lamar Jackson that even guys that were kind of on his side have kind of gone the other way, like sort of Shannon Sharp. He's kind of gone that way because they're like, Lamar, what are you doing, man? This ain't professional. What you doing? So that's kind of what it is. That's my thoughts on the whole Lamar Jackson issue, the continued saga of all the stuff going on, starting to become a little bit nauseating, but I do kind of always find it fascinating when all this kind of fake racism exists, when none exists at all. If you have any thoughts about this shit, leave it in the comment section, and I'll see y'all with another video.